Hi guys, and welcome to the Mighty Crispy. This week we're talking about Supergirl because CBS has announced they have a Supergirl show coming in the fall, and I heard from the Flash podcast on Twitter that they're going to have a sister podcast called Supergirl Radio, run by Teresa and Rebecca, and they're going to be on supergirlradio.com, they're on Facebook, Supergirl Radio, and on Twitter at Supergirl Radio. And so, if it's anything like the Flash podcast Season 0 was before the Flash actually came onto TV, their Season 0 will be explaining sort of all about the characters and their motivations and sort of the history behind them, so you can get to know a little bit more about what Supergirl and her villains and her family of characters is all about. So, check that out. In the meantime, that sort of inspired me to do a review or a synopsis of Volume 1. And so, in the New 52, Volume 1, Supergirl has a bit of a different opening than I would have expected. Most of my prior Supergirl experience comes from the animated Superman show, where she's pretty happy. She lives on the farm with the Kents and comes and visits and helps out Clark here and there. In this book, we get a very sort of hard opening. Her pod crashes to Earth. It goes through the Earth a good way and then comes up in Russia. And right away she's encountered with a bunch of guys in mech suits. And so she spends the first issue sort of dealing with these guys, tearing their suits apart and sort of discovering that she's got some powers that she didn't have back on Krypton. The end of issue 1, Superman sort of shows up and is like, hey, what's going on here? And notices they're wearing the same logo. And into volume 2, he's like, hey, my name's Kal-El. Like, do we know each other? Because we got the same shirt on. And she says, Kal-El's my baby cousin. You're not a baby. You're full of crap. Let's fight. And she spends the whole second issue fighting with Superman. And so we get sort of the look at her character in the first 2 issues of the book is that she's got a lot of anger management problems. She's pretty petulant, she's pretty ragey, she's just not very likable in the first few issues of this series because she's just so full of anger. The next little bit, she is taken by a scientist. Sorry, my cat's going crazy. Of course, while I'm recording. Anyways. The next issues, she goes with this guy named Tycho. He sort of extends an offer to her, like, I'll help you out. I've got this shard that you might recognize. I want to see what you are capable of. And so Supergirl sort of figures this out, that he's a bit of a jerk. And with the help of one of the guys who's in the mech suits from issue 1, starts her escape plan. She takes the shard back from Tycho, blows up his space station, and leaves. And so when she gets back to, well, she doesn't fly to Earth, she flies away. And she's got this shard, and it's got a message from her father on it. She ends up on another planet and meets up with these people, this group that are the World Killers. And she starts fighting with their leader, Rain, and gets pinned to the wall. She loses that fight. Not without putting up a good fight, but she loses. And the next issue we open with a flashback of her doing some training, and she gets kind of a ghostly pep talk from her father and mother, and gets herself free from the wall, and comes back and starts to beat up on these World Killers. We get one little shot here of Shiobon, who is more of a player in Volume 2. And so that comes more into play there. But she's got this Rain issue, and she comes back and she beats up these 4 World Killers. Where's the 5th one? There's supposed to be 5 World Killers. That's only 4 when I'm done with them. And by the end, she's victorious. She's had her first victory, like flat-out victory. over a villain in her own comic book series. And the art is by Muhammad Asrar, and the writing is Michael Green and Mike Johnson. It's a good story. It's well written. The art is good. It took me a little bit to warm up to the art. Like, I don't really like the main picture there, I like the face on her there, but there's some art in here that's it's really dynamic sort of stuff. Like, she's crashing through the floor. She's like, this is a cover, if I can get to it. Like, that's a pretty cool cover. So the art's good. The writing is good for what it is, but it's not necessarily the direction that I or quite a few other people really liked. So when they do this CBS show, for a change, I'm kind of hoping they steer a little bit away from how the comics have been written, in that I hope they make Supergirl a little more likable. Otherwise, the show is going to end up being a lot of down notes, because in the book, Supergirl is really ragey and mad about everything. And so hopefully they don't go that way with her character and make her more of a likable character that people can identify with, because I think a Supergirl show could do a lot of people a lot of good, and it gives a good, strong female role model and that kind of thing. So, anyways, if you liked the review, give the thumbs up button a click. If you like the channel, there's drawing videos every week. There's some comic book stuff every week. Usually 2 videos. Subscribe to the channel and you won't miss anything from me. And then share the video so that you can draw other people into the web of comic books and how awesome they are. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. Thanks for watching, everybody. Follow me at Crispy47 on Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe and click the like button if you enjoyed the video. Thanks. Bye. Really? Really? Talia, you're a pain.